light. All the hell my life without you. Baby, let's just see what these calls do. I'm not so perfect, baby, how you working? I'm right here. Girl, let me see you working. How we closing curtains? I'm right
that's not leading into a joke. It's just I literally don't know what's going on. Smash the like. We'll see you soon. It's going to be fun.
Sorry, Doug.
Okay, let's start with something a little fun. So we have many different versions of Batman played by different actors. So what I want the chat to tell me is if it was a smoke out, who's the last Batman standing? Which Batman can hang the longest? You tell me. Will Arnett. I like that Kevin Conroy pick too. I like that pick too. I am darkness. I am the night. I'm really high! Hello, and welcome. We're not going to come in on the Eagles song today because I can't find it. What's up? Good morning. Welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. It's the best way to start your day. Today, well, it is 420. There's a certain vibe in the air. The tower is moving at a slow pace today. I don't know. Look, Al Schuler is a major voice on the board, so some of it should be put on Al. Not to be that guy, but it is what it is. But we do have a good show for you today. We're going to be pretty chill today. I want to talk about the Michael Keaton news that came out yesterday. The Wrap, Humberto Gonzalez, is reporting that Michael Keaton is, after all, actually going to be in the Flash movie, which is crazy. Anthony Muschietti on Instagram is saying that they're going to be starting to shoot really soon. This is crazy to me. The Black Adam movie also seems to be soldiering ahead. And frankly, I'm not going to shit all over Warner Brothers, DC, or anybody today. I just want to talk about what I think is going on. Because frankly, The Rock deserves a lot of credit, and as does Anthony Muschietti and the whole Flash team. Look, making movies is hard. Making a DC movie seems like it's even harder. You know what I'm saying? The Rock was cast 13 years ago to play this part, right? So, we're going to talk about all of that. It is a weird situation for Warner Brothers. I think there is a way out for them, but we'll get into all of that, okay? So, before we get into all of that nerdy news, let's do some show notes. Show notes, ladies and gentlemen. Last night we had a great episode of Nerd Theory. I thought it was really fun. Got into some cool debates, different points of view coming in. I think the panel side of that show is getting really interesting and really fun. Theory and I also had a really great discussion about Rian Johnson. I think it was pretty cool. You should definitely check it out if you missed it. And also, if you're a Nerdvenger and you'd like to try to get on one of those sort of roundtable discussions, let's talk about it in Discord. Hit me up in the Nerd Theory Discord channel, which is a cool little thing that we have going on over there. Tonight, we're having a very special 420 edition of Debate 8 with Adam from Fanjecture. I believe everybody's favorite team of content creators, Al and Lavis, will be hanging out with Adam tonight doing the 420 Debate 8. I believe it is all about which superhero would be the coolest one to party with, which sounds, frankly, awesome. I can't wait to see the different takes and debates about that. Actually, honestly, I wanted to be on that show. Unfortunately, the reality is, and I don't want to spoil the fun for everybody, but I have way too much going on to just spend a whole day getting high and having fun and doing all that sort of stuff. So, look, kudos to you. God bless you if you're able to do that. Honestly, smoke them if you got them. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to be there. But it is going to be a very entertaining show. And just because Josh has to be a good boy does not mean that you have to be. Celebrate if you'd like and enjoy Debate 8 tonight. I think it's going to be a really good time. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to have Darren's Danger Room, as Darren Wood and myself will be returning to stream with you all. I know everybody's confused about the time on that. It's I think we're going to more or less stick to a 10 o'clock time, but when Darren is on the East Coast, it is easier for her to do a 9 o'clock time. We'll keep you guys updated. I'll talk to Darren about that. Maybe we'll kind of keep it at a concise time, but it's going to be cool. We're going to be talking a lot about the finale for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm sure we'll talk about Invincible because it's one of our shared loves in nerdy pop culture right now. So we'll talk about all that sort of stuff. It's going to be very cool. Thursday night, of course, you're going to have After Dark, Al and Lavis, starting at 9 p.m. streaming through, giving you a couple hours of awesome content. I'm sure they're going to be talking a lot about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The finale, man. The finale. They really need to bring it home. I need to see a lot of action on that, and I think we will. And then 3 a.m., we'll probably start at 2:45 a.m. Friday morning, Thursday night, depending on where you... Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what it depends on. Regardless, 2:45 a.m. Friday morning, we will be doing our watch party for the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All the Nerdvenger members, we hang out, we watch it together, we talk about it a little bit, we have kind of a intimate exchange about it, and then we will likely be going live early in the morning, Al Schuler and myself, talking about the finale, talking about the whole series, getting into how we think the show landed, how did it accomplish what it set out to accomplish, how is Marvel doing as a brand, did the show do well for the brand, did it do some damage to the brand, let's see. It's going to be an interesting discussion, so we'll be doing all that and more. I also want to say, last thing I know, we're going to get into it. Last thing, we have brought back a piece of sort of keystone content that we used to do back in the day. It's a show. Well, it's actually, I guess it's a show. It's called the Nerdy News Rundown, okay? And so in this show, which we're going to be publishing at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will hit it today, I promise, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, over on our main channel, The Den of Nerds. We're going to be doing 10 to 15-minute videos breaking down all of the news in a given day. Marvel and nerdy news is starting to pop off in such a way that there's so much to talk about that we felt like it was the perfect time to bring back that format. And there's going to be a surprise in the show today, so definitely go check that out at 6 p.m. Okay, let us now get into, well, first let's knight some Nerdvengers. Looks like we got some Nerdvengers tonight. Matt, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now, sir. Welcome to the party. Hit the Discord, my friend. Lots of fun stuff happening over on the Discord. Okay, let's talk about this Michael Keaton thing. Let me know in the chat right off the bat, did you guys see the Michael Keaton news? You would have if you watched the Nerdy News Rundown, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday on the Den of Nerds. But if you missed it, it's all good. Let me know in the chat. Did you see it? Andre, welcome to the Nerdvengers at a Prime level. I think that's a wise choice. Make sure you come by the Sunday streams for the Prime streams. They're very in-depth, sort of business-minded talk about the brand. And if you miss them, they are up as a replay as well. And you can go back and watch a bunch of them if you'd like. Same thing with you, Matt. You guys, when you become a Nerdvenger member, you can go watch the Saturday streams. Those are the behind-the-scenes streams. And you can watch like the last couple of them or even a few minutes of them. And you're going to be like, damn. And then you're going to be caught up with where we're at. Anyway, did you guys see the Michael Keaton news? Some yeses, a lot of yeses. Okay, a lot of yeses. Right on. Right on. Let's take a peek skis at what happened. Again, Humberto Gonzalez reporting this, which is important. I want to explain why. And we will be just sort of getting into a lot of the just free thinking speculation about what's going on at DC, okay? I don't know what's going on at DC, okay? But I have some theories. Richard, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. And Mike, I see your chat, but I can't see it, you know what I mean? Let's see here. Watch Party Friday all day, Falcon and Winter Soldier, then Mortal Kombat, finishing with Invincible. Dude, that's actually a great idea. Okay, so wait a minute. Pause. And this show is going to be really unstructured because of all the contact tobacco smoke buzz that I'm getting. Now, chat, help me out here. Is Mortal Kombat coming out that night as well? Or does it come out tomorrow night? I thought it came out tomorrow night. Nah? It comes out that night? Oh, man. The 23rd. So, okay, so... Wow. Okay, we're going to have to do a massive watch party. Yeah. I like that. Okay, so change of plans. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I don't want to commit to anything like hard, but we're doing it. 100% guaranteed. We'll do I don't know, should we do Invincible, Mortal Kombat, and then into Falcon the Winter Soldier? Is that the order? Is that how we should do it? Do we have time for that though? How long is Mortal Kombat? Because we have 3 hours. I guess you'd have time, unless the movie was like... Won't come out all the way 2 hours. Okay, yeah. Mortal Kombat is 64% on fresh. Yeah, I say good enough. All right, let's pull up this Michael Keaton stuff. Where you at, Keaton? Where's this Michael Keaton news? Oh, my. Of course. Oh, but of course. Oh, but of course it would do this. Wow, okay. Give me just a second, guys. Sorry. It looks like even Streamlabs is as high as a kite. Because it does not seem to want to do what should be a very simple thing to do. Come on, Streamlabs, you got it. I believe in you. Okay. Let's see here. Can you... Okay, well, at least it's got that on there. Okay. Haha! Got it. Okay. So, why this is important that it was covered by Humberto Gonzalez. Humberto was the person that first broke the exclusive of Michael Keaton coming back for the Flash movie. This was a massive story, dude. A massive get. And it indicates a huge plan for DC that, frankly, I think is kind of cool. You know? Flashpoint movie, going back to a Tim Burton Batman kind of thing. Like, I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? And to get this guy to come back, I mean, Keaton is a monster, dude. He's an incredible actor. So I always thought it was really cool. And when Humberto first broke the story, I thought it was awesome. I got excited about it, reported about it or whatever. And then basically I report, I think a week later or something, about Ben Affleck coming back or whatever. And then there was all this pushback. You know what I mean? I had some conversations with Humberto, you know, in the Twitter DMs about just different things. And, you know, look, I think that the truth here is this was a huge story for Humberto. It's clearly real. You know what I mean? Even if Keaton had said no, which we thought maybe a month ago was the case, the original story was real, okay? But about a month ago, it did sort of appear that Michael Keaton came in and threw some cold water on to this possibility. He was talking about the fear of being safe, you know what I mean? He was talking a little about the Rona. But he also said, kind of indicated that he hadn't even read the script. You know what I mean? He kind of indicated that it wasn't a thing. I remember talking to you guys about it on a live stream, and I had interpreted that interview to flat out say, no way, no how, never gonna happen. The way I took that interview was that this was the best, the only way that he could really say no publicly, like a hard no without sounding like a total butthole. You know what I mean? That's kind of, that was my personal takeaway. That's clearly not what happened. Or if that was what happened, then Warner Brothers was like, how many dollars is it going to take, Michael? Like, how many dollars? Just tell us. Because frankly, now, you not doing The Flash is way bigger than you not doing The Flash. Have you ever heard of the Snyder Cut, bro? Right? Like, his agent's probably like, have you ever heard of the Snyder Cut, Mike? Okay, so let's read this new report, and then let's get into all of the speculation about what's going on, okay? Yes, Michael Keaton really is playing Batman in The Flash. Michael Keaton's talent agency, ICM Partners, has confirmed the actor will return as Batman in The Flash. The superhero film officially kicked off production in London on Monday, as revealed in an Instagram post from director Andrea Simurchetti. As the Wrap first exclusively reported, Keaton was in talks to return to the role of Batman after nearly 30 years to appear alongside Ezra Miller in Warner Bros.' The Flash. But Keaton set the fandom on fire last month when he hinted in an interview with Deadline that he might not do The Flash because of his concerns about Das Rona. To be honest with you, you know what worries me more than anything about all this stuff? It's Rona, he said. I'm more concerned. I keep my eye more on the Rona situation in the UK than anything. That will determine everything. And so that's why I'm living outside the city here on 17 acres, staying away from everybody because of Rona. Things have gotten me really concerned. So that's my first thing about all projects. I look at it and go, is this thing going to kill me? Literally, you know what I mean? So yeah, he's concerned about Rona. So basically, he's sort of taking. He's continuing to sort of double down on the story that he had originally done. So let's look at the story he originally did. Okay, Batman Returns. Michael Keaton in talks. Seems like that was accurate. To play Bruce Wayne in the Flash movie, exclusive. After nearly 30 years, Michael Keaton is in talks to return to the role of Batman to appear alongside Ezra Miller in Warner Bros.' upcoming movie, The Flash. The Wrap has learned exclusively. Talks with Keaton are in very early stages. It's far from a sure thing and can go either way. No details are currently available on how big or small Keaton's role is. That plot will introduce general audiences to the idea of the multiverse. Now, we saw at DC Fandom that this was absolutely a thing. And so it did seem odd a month ago when he threw some cold water on that. Let's look at that real quick, just for context. Where's the Batman part of this? Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, so here he is. Reports have you putting on the bat suit again for the Flash. Why? He asks with 3 exclamation points and 3 question marks. Well, now that you put it that way, maybe you're right. Jesus, what am I thinking about? Huh? Oh, I'm not talking you out of it. Cue the social media backlash against me. Well, now I'm nervous all of a sudden. No, now I'm thinking, what a stupid freaking idea. Deadline says it's going on 30 years. Men thicken over years. I am imagining you putting out the suit and taking it to the dry cleaners. That's kind of funny. That's hysterical. Yeah, like there's a dry cleaner who handles everybody, all the superheroes. He's got a specialty business doing that. Actually, that's something that's in Invincible, kind of, right? The tailor. You show up and go. You return something and say, what is this? It's Spider-Man. This isn't mine. That's kind of funny. So they're just sort of casually talking about it. Okay, he says, you know what, that's right. I'm needing a minute to think about it because I'm so fortunate and blessed. I'm really at work right now, but I don't know why I'm so beyond. I mean, you know, to tell you the truth, somewhere on my iPad is an iteration of the whole Flash thing that I haven't had time yet. I called them and said, I have to be honest with you. I can't look at anything right now. I'm so deep in doing this thing, and I'm prepping this thing. Okay. Okay, and this is where he starts to talk about, the Rona situation, right? So this is kind of interesting. Deadline asks, so we'll call the Batman reprise a strong possibility. You've said you are not a real superhero fan, but you've worked in the genre from all angles, starting with Batman, the first tentpole-sized superhero from movies with Tim Burton and Jack Nicholson. Then you did the satire of an actor typecast as a superhero in Birdman. Fantastic film if you haven't seen Birdman. And then the villain with your Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. You have the Morbius movie with Jared Leto, based on a Marvel comic, and now you are considering putting on the bat suit. That started it all. What's with you and all of the superhero movies? Keaton says, you know what's interesting about the Vulture character? My knowledge of the lore of all these superhero lore comic book and culture is extremely limited. Not for any reason except that it's just limited. I thought this will be fun. It fits into my life and schedule, and Vulture I thought is really interesting. You're talking to a guy who I actually don't know what I'm talking about. The culture of DC Comics and Marvel. But that character fit an element of dissatisfaction in the culture of the overlooked, especially among men. They feel like, hey, what about me? That whole anger thing. What I found interesting about this guy was he made himself, worked hard, and got somewhere, only to see somebody who inherited wealth, who has all the toys, the advantages. It's easy to see him say, yeah, I want to be this. What about me? That's pretty interesting, actually. I had never really heard him talk about that. Now, look, frankly, this Deadline article, especially like the way those expanded ideas were introduced, actually don't paint as negative of a picture about Michael Keaton being in The Flash. Frankly, like, the more I dug into this, because I got kind of interested in it, it was like, it seemed like maybe, I will say this, my interpretation of that interview, the original Deadline interview, was dead wrong. I mean, that's obvious now, right? Hindsight 2020. But man, like, I can kind of see it, right? Like, the more you go back and look at it, it really feels like it's true. Like, it was always true. Like, maybe that's what was going on. You know what I mean? Interesting. Very interesting. So, let me sort of speculate about what I think is going on. So, I actually think that this has more to do with the Snyderverse and what's going on with DC and DC fans and, you know, the way that the studios have been interacting with the fans. And I think it's possible, though unlikely, that Warner Brothers could actually make all of this work. I know, shocking. Maybe just because it's 420. You know what I mean? Maybe just too much contact buzz in the tower. You know? That might well be the case. Oh, the gray box is back. Stupid gray box. That might be the case. But let me kind of explain what I mean. Unfortunately, I actually think Zack always knew there was a very low chance of his stuff continuing. Okay? But that is not to say that we couldn't see some of it done on HBO Max. I think the whole idea of the multiverse was to set up that as a possibility. You could have Zack Snyder stuff, or like, let's say, the Batfleck sort of Deathstroke thing. Do that movie. What does it cost you to do that movie and just say that it takes place in the Snyderverse? You could even connect it to the Nightmare scenario, to after Darkseid gets, you know, the anti-life, right? You don't lose anything by doing that. But I will say this. I think definitely the Hamadaverse is absolutely Warner Brothers' priority. And, yeah, I still think that's going to be the thing. So, look, if they do get Keaton and Ben Affleck, which that's what's reported right now, is that Keaton and Ben Affleck are doing this movie together, dude. You're going to have the way from the Snyderverse with a Ben Affleck Batman forward, that when Barry comes back, basically Ben Affleck Batman is not the Batman of that time or universe anymore. So this happened. Like Flashpoint, this is something that we've been talking about for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, this is something we've been talking about for a while. This was seemingly always the plan for Warner Brothers to make that work. And man, like, I was just weeks ago, you'll recall, I was hating hard on DC, man. I was saying, I don't even know if the Flash movie will happen. And let's be real, we have no idea if this movie will be good. It sounds like all kinds of things could go wrong and make this movie a crap factory. You know what I mean? But mad respect to Anthony Muschietti and to Warner Brothers for actually assembling the squad, if they get it assembled, and going to work to start putting images of superheroes onto the screen. Editing it together. Actually putting the project together. That's crazy. And so here's kind of like where my head is at. It's like, will even the Snyder fans, who are going to, I think, in large part reject the Hamadaverse, unless DC throws them a bone, which frankly I think they should do. But let's just say they don't, right? Let's take that angle first. If Warner Brothers does not throw a bone to these fans, they will reject the Hamadaverse. They absolutely will. The question becomes, how many other people, mainstream fans, normies, swarmies, and the like, will join up with the Hamadaverse? You know what I mean? Because let's say, I don't even think all of the Snyderverse fans will completely reject it. Because, like, frankly, I'm one of the biggest Snyder fans ever. And I'm super pumped for Michael Keaton Flash. Like, I am going to watch the shit out of that. You know what I mean? So I'm not that guy. So I would even say probably like only 60% of the most hardcore Snyder fans will completely reject the Hamadaverse. And if they can make that up in bringing in a bunch of sort of new audience members or normie audience members to what they are doing, it could work. Of course, I worry that it'll just be Marvel light. You know what I mean? I don't want Marvel light, and I think no DC fan wants Marvel light. You know, I was just talking to some people about this yesterday. You know what the worst MCU movie is? Aquaman. Aquaman's the worst MCU movie. Like, it's good. It's alright. You know what I mean? Like, it does the job. But it's so Marvel-y that it's like, I like have to walk away sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh. Yeah, I said it. So there's a lot of concern of the vision. Is there vision there? Is there vision? Or is it just Marvel light? And here's what's interesting. I really do think that DC is also in the process of weeding out some bad seed and righting some wrongs. I do think that Jason Kilar is the type of person, and the CEO, that is focused on fixing some of the problems for this company. However, it's not as simple as just, you know, bending over backwards for whatever particular issue or thing. I think due diligence, and frankly, you should protect your people. I mean, if they're a horrible person, no. But until proven that they are what they're being accused of course a company should protect their people. So Warner Brothers has the ability to navigate some rough waters moving forward. I would throw some bones, like for real. Throw some bones and set up some new leadership and some new vision there. And then it really all comes down to Anthony Muschietti's Flash. Literally. I might wait until the Flash movie came out before I went real hard on the Hamadaverse. Like, seriously. Because if that movie doesn't work, it's all dead. Like, it all doesn't matter. You can do what you did before, which is kind of act like you didn't just have some of the worst failures of all time and sort of act like your canon still, like, fucking made sense. That was a horrible idea. You know, that was bad. But you could do that again if you totally destroy the Flash movie. I'm very hopeful that a lot of the suits are getting out of the way. If they're looking at what happened with Zack and how positive people were on the Snyder Cut, if they're looking at what's going on with the David Ayer, with the fans, if they're seeing the new way that fans are really triggered by studio interference, and they want to see true visionaries and artists take these characters, it's possible that, particularly with the Flash movie, they keep the interference super low and they allow Muschietti to do what they need, basically putting the toys in their proper places on the shelf, but allow him to play. You know what I mean? Allow him to play and create. And if they can do that, they have an incredible opportunity. They have an incredible opportunity. I'm still really high on, well, you know, a couple of things, but really high on Michael Keaton Batman returning to the silver screen in the DCEU. I think it's fan-freaking-tastic. Now, to hedge their bets, let's take this other angle. If they actually do Snyderverse stuff and do Hamadaverse stuff, they have the ability to completely change the narrative. Like, completely change it. And what I would do is build up these characters, and they must know. They must know Marvel's macro Secret Wars plans. They must know it. They have to. And so, if they're seeing that, I mean, look, here's the truth. Marvel and DC Comics have been copying each other for the last, 80 years. That's what they do. They constantly copy each other. They'll hear about something that's coming up, try to put it out first, this, that, second, and third. It's the way it works. You know what I mean? Do you think it's a coincidence that Deadpool and Deathstroke are both named, they're Slade and Wade? I mean, come on. Shut your mouth. That's what happens. So, DC must know about Kevin Feige's Masterstroke Secret War plan. Well, they have Crisis. They have Crisis. They have the same thing because in the comics, they all copied each other for the last 80 years. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, if they do some Snyderverse, and then you do the Hamadaverse, and then you do the Reeves verse or whatever he's got going on. You got the Berlanti verse going on in the CW. Do it all. Let the chips fall where they may. Take your most popular characters after 5 years and throw them all in some ridiculous, crazy multiverse event. It could work. It could be dope. I'm into it. Now, worst case scenario. Do you want to know what the worst case scenario is? The worst case scenario is that Michael Keaton still backs out. I know. You might say, what? That's impossible. His agency just said he was in, whatever. Bro, anything's possible. The Flash movie is cursed. It is possible, even if he goes to shoot a little bit of it, that he could walk away. I feel like they have over-leveraged the Michael Keaton element of it all. Like, frankly, like, Keaton and his agent, like, if you guys don't understand the leverage you have right now, like, please give me a call. Like, I think you have an incredible amount of leverage right now against Warner Brothers. I think you should get Robert Downey money. 100%. Like, without a doubt. Because you now, I think, hold the ability to make or break Warner Brothers right now. If, like, they're paying you, I think this studio in some ways, and this goes into the title and all that kind of stuff, I think they're literally paying him in some ways to try to kill the Snyderverse. You know what I mean? There are because there are absolutely people within Warner Brothers, in my opinion, that still don't want Zack's stuff to succeed. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but there's petty, weird shit that went on with Zack Snyder. Why did they remove the trending page for HBO Max? You know what I mean? Why was all of the data for Godzilla vs. Kong spread all over the freaking internet, and they didn't really brag or talk about the Snyder Cut numbers at all? Why did HBO and Warner Brothers put on official Snyder Cut stuff that this was the completion of Zack Snyder's trilogy? You know what I mean? Fake Frosty stories, all of it. There are absolutely people in Warner Brothers, in my opinion, that don't want Zack to succeed. And so, a worst case scenario, here's the worst case scenario. They over leverage Keaton. They pay Keaton to kill the Snyderverse. And then Keaton still walks away, leaving them holding a bag. Holy shit. Uh-oh. Bad music. We can't have this music on here, right? We can't be rocking a drizzy. Luckily, it was lo-fi drizzy, so I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, we shouldn't be doing that. Thank you for the catch. Thank you for the catch. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. I think that Warner Brothers has a variety of outcomes in front of them. I hope Michael Keaton's getting paid, son. Like, I hope he's getting, like, that 17 acres. I want him, a lot more. Should be living on a lot more after this deal. Because, holy shit. Like, literally, he's about to save. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I wonder if he understands. He doesn't understand comics. That's the thing, right? To his own admittance, he doesn't really understand comics or comic book culture. I don't know if he fully understands, like, literally. I don't know if he fully understands where he is at in this negotiation. Like, bruh, you got him by the balls, Mike. You got him by the balls, brother. In my opinion. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. That's kind of where I'm at with all of it, you know? I think there's a fight in the Hollywood trades. I think Deadline purposely, you know, honestly, I can't even say that. I can't even fully say that. There were, I'll say this, other people weaponized that Deadline article to make it seem like the Hamadaverse was falling apart. I think that absolutely happened. I think that Umberto, it is possible that in his initial report, I mean, it's hard to say for sure because it's an exciting story, right? That's a great get. But it is possible that an element of that is like the studio wants people to know, like, we're replacing Ben Affleck, essentially. We're replacing Batfleck. We're moving forward, right? So it's possible there's an element of that. And I think, frankly, yeah, the studios and even people within Warner Brothers have been trying to get different messaging out there, you know? I think it's kind of toxic, to be honest, you know? But they have a way out, man. It might not be as bad as we thought. And if they can actually make these movies decent and tie this all together and make it work, it could be great. You know what I mean? It frankly could be great. So with bated breath, I suppose we wait to see what happens next, yeah? We shall see. Let's get into Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into Q&A. We'll go for probably like 40 more minutes. But I'm starving. I'm like extra hungry for whatever reason. I don't really fully understand it. But I'm very, very hungry. So I have to get food soon. Okay, Mike says, Josh, Invincible starts at 12. So we can start with Invincible, roll right into Falcon the Winter Soldier right at 3, then finish with Mortal Kombat. But we'd be like 12 to, I mean, Invincible's not that long, yo. Right? It's only like 30, 40 minutes, yeah? We might be able to do Invincible, Mortal Kombat, then Falcon Winter Soldier. We'll talk about it, Mike. We'll talk about it. Notorious says, Happy Doge Day, y'all. Stoked to see you settling into the new routine, Josh. Sent you a Twitter DM. Check it out when you get some time. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the love. Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. A lot to do. A lot of kinks to work out, man. But we'll get there. Kevin says, Umberto is a hack. He has little credibility. He is a John's Camp guy. Take it with a grain of salt. So I'll say this. I do not think that he is a hack. I respect your opinion. But I do not think that he is a hack. I know that his credibility has been dinged. And I do think that he is a Johns guy. I have some other friends that I know for sure are Jeff Johns guys. I have good sources that, like, I know for sure are whispering lies like sweet honey. But it's all good, baby. You know what I mean? Charles, welcome to the Nerdvengers at the prime level. You are a Nerdvenger now. This is Daniel says, do we not think Keaton only works with Burton? So, this apparently, it was reported, we don't know for sure. It was reported that this was a major thing that Keaton wanted. He wanted Burton to be involved, whether that would be in the Flash movie itself or in some stuff moving forward. It was reported and rumored that that was something that Keaton wanted. So, I mean, frankly, again, he has all the leverage in the world. You know what I mean? And it's not, I mean, maybe that's a whole nother thing of like getting Burton to come back. But, yeah, we'll see. Nathan Tattoo says, dude, what if we see old Keaton Batman introduce Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Beyond? I would lose my mind. That is a brilliant idea. Look, right now, okay, let me explain something. Right now, there's all this rumor of Barbara sort of being Batman Beyond. I really don't think that's a good idea. However, if instead of Batman Beyond, it was like the Bat family was all kind of Batman Beyond up, like if it was super techie, futuristic Batman for the whole Bat family, and Bruce was older and just sort of retired, but there was the whole Bat family, that becomes amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it sort of goes to something we were talking about yesterday on Nerd Theory. You know, actually, Jay made this point. It was a good point. He said, nobody wants, if you tear down a character to build another character up, if you tear down a legacy character to build another character up, it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. You know what's funny? G. Willow Wilson, who is a very left-leaning writer that wrote a lot of Miss Marvel, she actually said the same thing. She was asked frankly about what was going on with Marvel and like the huge drop-off in sales. And I think this, I forget what year this was. I want to say it was 2016. She said, the truth is, nobody wants a legacy if the legacy gets shit on. What good is the legacy then? This is G. Willow Wilson saying this. You know what I mean? Even she understood that some of what they were doing at Marvel was a mistake. You shouldn't tear down and shit on a legacy character and then just replace another character in that legacy role and assume that that's awesome, good, or in any way connecting with the audience that first appreciated the legacy. It's like counterintuitive. It's like saying, oh, this thing that we know everybody loves, we're going to totally crap all over this, the way that people remember loving that thing, but yet also try to stick this new thing in there, call it that thing they love, and then say, you better like it. You know what I mean? It's a pretty messed up way to go about it. But yeah, having said that, yeah, if they got Joseph Gordon-Levitt to come back, woo, That'd be awesome. And then Nathan follows up with, I know they're not in the same universe technically, but who says they can't bring him over? I would like that way better than him as Reed Richards. Interesting. Yeah. That could totally work, although I don't hate Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Richards. Mitzi with a $2 holla. No message there. SFC Pruitt says, I like turtles. Right on, brother. Right on. Can you hit some tobacco on stream for the fam? Sure. Just for you, fam. Just for you guys. I will hit some absolutely 100% tobacco and completely legal tobacco. It's like on a movie set where you get fake prop marijuana. That's pretty much like what it is. But there you go. That one's for you. Sozin. That's for you, brother. Mitzi says, just show the love. Take my dinero. I had to sing it with the way that you wrote it, Mitzi. Thank you so much. Mike Porter says, MCU stand here. I need DC to work. I love those characters. Warner Brother DC makes the MCU better because of their mistakes. MCU doesn't need that kind of help. They're good without any help. DC, do better. Maybe it's the tobacco I just smoked, Mike, but that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Let me try again. MCU stand here. I need DC to work. I love those characters. Cool. Warner Brothers DC. Okay, so he's saying to them, makes the MCU better because of their mistakes. MCU doesn't need that kind of help. They're good without any help. DC do better. Mike, are you having a seizure or am I? That's the question. Are you having a seizure or am I having a seizure? What's going on here? Love you, brother. Thanks for the support. Charles Hornfix says, finally was able to catch a live stream. Keep up the great content. Take my money. Charles, thank you for the support, brother. It means a lot, man. Glad you were able to catch us live. Kind of an interesting show to catch live, the 420 show. But, welcome. Colista. Although it's cool that he's back in the DCE as Batman, my big thing has to do with the MCU. Is he still under contract with his role as Vulture? And how were they able to work this out? Okay, yeah, so that's a great point, Kat. I don't know, but I will say that there was an international version of the Morbius trailer that played in front of Birds of Prey, in which they removed Michael Keaton from that trailer. So it is totally possible that things have changed and that he's now over there. It's interesting because you would think he'd be a lock for Sinister Six and doing something with the villains in Spider-Man 3, which, by the way, that plot leak is 100% real, and I will eventually talk about it. So it would be great to see him in that kind of a thing, but look, let's be honest. Some of the AV-ARAD stuff that's coming out right now and some of the news that's circulating about that makes it seem like there could be some chaos at Sony. I don't know how much Amy Pascal is at Sony anymore. I think, isn't she doing her own thing? She's over at like Universal or something, right? I know she's producing with Feige for No Way Home, but I don't know how intricately involved with everything. I thought that was Rothman and ARAD's thing now. Now, maybe because of the bad press, that'll change too. But for now, I think that you could be onto something, Kat, and he could be walking away from the MCU. It's possible if his role with the MCU, or rather with Sony, because that's what the Morbius movie would have been, it's possible he's changed his mind about that. So there could be a lot in play here. But yeah, no, that's a great point. We don't know. Will Bonin says, do you think Toby has the same kind of leverage with Marvel Studios that Keaton had with Warner Brothers? Absolutely not. No way. First of all, Toby's leverage would be with Sony, I believe. But I see your point. Here's why not. Because they already have Tom Holland. They already have Andrew Garfield. They have Miles Morales that they haven't even tapped into. They have a whole bunch of Spider-Man via the Snyderverse that they could bring in. And they could reboot Peter at any time. So, no. They do not have the same leverage. Keaton's situation is unique because of the Hamadaverse, Snyderverse battle. Because he is iconic and popular and would bring a ton of the old Batman fans to go see The Flash. Like 100% that's going to happen. Grandpas and some uncles that haven't really been messing with the new stuff are going to see that Michael Keaton's back at Batman. They're going to get in their walkers and wheel in, dog. They're coming. You know? So, no way does Toby have the same leverage. Michael Keaton, Keaton, someone send this to him. If you do not understand the leverage you have in this deal, it's probably because you don't understand comics, pop culture, and all that kind of stuff. Mike, you have DC and Warner Brothers by the balls, brother. You need to get at least $50 million from this deal. At least $50 million. Guaranteed. Plus some back-end deliverables. Yeah. I think that it's that kind of a deal. Darth Dever, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now, man. Make sure you check out those Saturday streams, man. That's where it goes down. Chi-Town's Finest says, maybe I'm just a fanboy dreaming, but if Batfleck is actually in the Flash movie, maybe there is still a chance that Warner Brothers had plans for the Snyderverse. Otherwise, why include him at all? Happy 420. Okay, so let me explain why include him. To replace him. From the most negative Snyderverse angle, you would do this to replace him. You would begin the movie in the Snyderverse with Ezra, with Batfleck, with Henry Cavill, everybody. And then you'd go to an alternate timeline, the Flashpoint timeline, which will be the extension of the Burtonverse. Then when Barry comes back to the main timeline, he's like, oh, hey, Bruce. And he expects to see Ben, and it's Michael Keaton. I think that's the plan. You know what I mean? Happy 420 to you. Stevie, big Stevie. By the way, Steve, I need some pictures of you, like, looking all distinguished for the bust. And by the way, we need way more likes. Like, frankly, I'm actually not mad that it's a smaller stream. I know it's DC, it's 420. We're just trying to have fun. But we definitely need more likes. Y'all are, like, please, let's get that up. But Stevie says, thanks for the DC stream. This DC fanboy appreciates it, man. Take my Dogecoin. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see what crypto's doing after the show. Hopefully it's a good day, but it could also be a bad day. Anyway, Slow Most with a $5 hollow says, big happy birthday to my now 3-year-old Elijah. Chances we get another Batman origin movie in 5 to 10 years. MCU for life. Well, happy birthday to you, Elijah. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I classically can't pronounce anything. So even if it had just been like Sam, I might have been like... It's a Josh thing. It's not a you thing. Batman origin movie in 5 to 10 years? Yeah, for sure. I once asked... it was in 2019. I got the pleasure to sit down with Greg Rucka. Man, I'm blanking on the other big name. Man, that's a shame. But I asked about, like, what is like, Batman is a character that more and more feels super outdated to the modern world. You know what I mean? Like, and so you can update that to the modern world, but at some point it seems like you would have to modernize Batman. I mean, you're gonna have to kind of do what Danny O'Neill did. You know what I mean? There's gonna have to be another version of that. And I was like curious about that. And frankly, the thing is, those guys are not. They know that, but they frankly said you're probably gonna do it, or somebody like you. Like, it's not gonna be done by them. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it'll happen in the comics first. I mean, comics are still an incredible place for creativity to just go do its thing, man, you know? It's part of the reason that, like, more ridiculous stuff happens in the comics than happens in the movies, you know? So, yeah, I think they'll definitely do it. Mr. MDZ420, welcome to the Nerdvengers, my friend. You are a Nerdvenger now. Go check out those Saturday streams. Louis Tolley says, have you read Last Ronin so far? Have I read Last Ronin so far? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you talking about Frank Miller's Ronin? Because that book's close, probably. I love that book. Is that what you're talking about? Not sure what you're talking about there, bro. Zachary P says, have a cheeseburger on me. Happy 420 Nerdvengers for life. Zachary, I'm going to think of you and that awesome Bubbles picture and literally laugh when I go eat a cheeseburger later. I like quarter pounders with cheese. I like double quarter pounders with cheese. What do you want from me? Sozu Sozin says, what's your take on Battinson in the behind the scenes rumor and the movie's future? Look, man, I think the Battinson thing is probably on the level of the Pedro Pascal thing from Mando Season 2. Meaning, it definitely happened, but it's hard to say, like, was it anything above and beyond what normally happens on a set? You also add in the pandy. Very stressful, dude. Very stressful. So, do I think that, you know, it's possible Pedro freaked out on some people and walked off set? For sure. Do I think it's possible Battinson and Nolan, or rather Reeves, are at each other's throat and they want to kill each other? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love all of the people that I work with. Sometimes I want to throw them out of a window. You know what I mean? So that's just human nature, man. You know, people get heated, get angry, and just conflict happens. So what's my take on it? Until further notice, I'm not concerned. Nick Lemon says, love DC. All I want is a good product. Take my green. Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate the support, my friend. And yeah, man, I love DC. As a big-time DC fan, it's been heartbreaking to watch some of the stuff that's going on. You know? Sucks, man. They did Zack super dirty. Zack's visionary. I love the Snyder Cut, man. It's so... I can't believe they're not just making more Snyder stuff, frankly. But, again, I'm trying to remain hopeful because I really believe in Jason Kilar. He is he just... It's the little things, man. I research CEOs as an investor. So as an investor in companies, I research CEOs. Jason's a good CEO, dude. He gets it. You know what I mean? He gets it on many levels. And his journey into cinema and learning more about the film industry has been really cool. He tweets some really cool stuff. He just had a really great tweet thread talking about trailers on Hollywood lots and some things that he didn't even know about that and learning a little bit more about Hollywood and stuff like that. I think Jason is a great CEO. I think that studio is a mess. But how much more of a mess is Warner Brothers than every other studio in Hollywood, right? Especially in a post-pandy world. You know, Disney's probably the only one feeling real good because they pivoted into streaming first. They got there first. They convinced us all to sign up after one season of The Mandalorian. We waited 2 years for Marvel content, and none of us really quit it. So they did. They made the brilliant move, man. You know what I mean? So there's hope. There's hope for them figuring this out. I really think they need to do at least something Snyderverse on HBO Max. I really think they need to do that. But even if they don't, there's a way out. There is possibly a way out. Patrick Ray says, happy 420 Bong Vengers for life. Take my money. I love that. Bong Vengers. My mother flippin' Porter said, LOL, it makes sense for some. DC is messing up so much, it making the MC look even better. Okay. But, okay, I see what you're saying. So the MCU doesn't need any help. They're awesome. As a fan, I want both to be. Okay, so I think what Mike is saying is some of our Marvel fans here, and we do have quite a bit of Marvel fans that support the channel, they don't even want DC to succeed because they're like, the more they suck, the better the MCU looks and all that. I'm a rising tide floats all boats kind of a guy, and I do agree with Mike in the sense that Feige actually wants these DC movies to do better. I'm sure he wants to do better than them, of course, as a competitor. But he doesn't want them to be sucking as bad as they are right now. It is dragging the whole genre down, some of the shit that's going on. So, yeah, man. If DC starts killing it, more grandmas, uncles, aunts are going to be like, you know, I liked that Shang-Chi movie. I thought it was pretty cool. Superhero movies are kind of chill. Maybe I'll check out this Batman movie. You know what I mean? You could create more of a zeitgeist if both of them were killing it. Mike Porter says, if DC can't work it out, Feige has my back. Absolutely. That is a good thing to keep in mind. T-Love816 says, after 13 years on YouTube, I finally changed my profile pic to a LEGGO Nerdvenging Vader on a dirt bike. Whoa, dude. It's an honor. Take my 420 dark side money. Thank you, man. That's very sweet of you. That is cool, man. Let's see here. According to the Sokovian, Krim says, shout out to the Sober Vengers. Sober Vengers for life. Absolutely. Let me speak on that for a second. Different strokes for different folks. You know, when I was younger, you know, I used to want everybody to be more like me. I used to want everybody to have fun the way I had fun. In fact, I remember getting mad at some of my friends that were more straight-laced as I was growing up, that they wouldn't do all the hood rat shit that I love to do. But now, I see that totally differently, man. You know, totally differently. I feel like everybody has their own way to find peace, their own vices, their own ways of coping. Minds and brains are very interesting things. You know what I mean? Very interesting things. I've been having some great conversations with people lately talking about just different aspects of human personalities. Risk assessment. Some people love the idea of jumping out of an airplane with nothing but a parachute on. I think that's ridiculous. I think I'm pretty chill down here. You know what I mean? However, there are certain just as scary things to some that I do, that I walk right past that fear barrier and I don't even notice it. I'm so excited about the possibilities on the other end that I don't think much of the reality of how scary that type of a thing is. Everybody comes to these kind of things in these situations in life from a different place. There are some people that have walked a certain path and decided that they must now remove temptation in that sense from their life. That's totally okay too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun thing, you know, for some people. I get it, the whole 420 thing. I was more into it when I was younger. I've just way too much to do to necessarily do all that. But, I think the world is sort of coming around to that, frankly. You know what I mean? There's some people that don't drink coffee. I think that's weird. But they seem to function and be just fine. You know, some people that don't get high, maybe some of us think that's weird. They're probably getting by and doing just fine. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Different strokes, different folks. Lucas Tex Vender says, happy 420 to my fellow nerd vendors. Stay safe while chiefing today. Indeed. Make sure you stay safe. Freeman Cooper says, hashtag ignite the green. Freeman, it's good to see you, brother. Don't worry. I'll do Star Wars content soon. DC, I'm stoked for The Flash. Muschietti is a great director, but hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Let's, why not both? Hashtag why not both? Why not both? 34 Virgo says, debate 8 weeds tonight. Like strands or whatever. Machine Gun Carter. My favorite place in the Nerdvenger Discord is the Marvel Comics section. Calling all nerds to read more comics and share cool moments in the Discord, please. That is a great call to action. I personally want to get back on the comic books. Been off of them for a little while. But I've been thinking a lot about it. I want to get back into the comics, 100%. Stevie says, War Stew has been hard that it's happening on HBO Max. He's been so adamant about it that I have hope. I mean, that's fair. However, I think maybe not necessarily War Stew himself, but some of the people I know he associates with, not naming any names, but look, what do I always say about scoopers? Two things. How good are your sources, but also how good is your judgment? You could hear something from a source, get way too fanboyishly excited about the possibility of Ezra Bridger being in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And if you're too much of a fanboy, you will start to filter things that you hear from your sources through the lens of Ezra Bridger showing up in Mandalorian season 2 and it being Rahul Cooley. Do you see what I mean? I've been burned. Other people have been burned. And I think some of this information about the HBO Max thing is a little bit of that. A little bit of that. According to the Sokovian, it says, R.I.P. my other super boss, give the sober some love. Thank you, sir. Sasispra and Dorori Utra. I'm probably mispronouncing this. I can't read Russian very well, my friend. Brazil Borussia. Lawrence Sky says, take my P.O. box money. Thank you for the reminder, Lawrence. Thank you for the reminder. I will get on that this week. The P.O. box will get set up this week. Let's see here. There's one more super chat I'm missing, right? JJ Lemon says, weed is my coffee. You know, for some people, that is the case. Look, these are just molecules at the end of the day. These are molecules interacting with other molecules. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm trying to hang in the chat for like 10, 15 more minutes. Troy says, who is your favorite fantasy author? I mean, I like Brandon Sanderson a lot. Moss says, do you think Netflix and the Amazon can chip away at the superhero monopolies? Yes. There's a lot of great indie stuff, which I do want to kind of get into eventually. Look, there's just so much going on right now. Honestly, like, it's crazy that we're even able to put out the content that we are. I think all of the content is going to improve, like, a lot, and we're going to get much faster. We're just, like, we're going through a lot of new workflow stuff. You know what I mean? But one of the pieces of content that I really want to focus on is, like, what happened in the 90s with Image when they all walked away from Marvel, and how a lot of the early Image stuff is going to continue to become a gold mine. All the Mark Millar stuff, like, Netflix signed a massive deal with Mark Millar. Like, anybody that knows Mark Millar's body of work is like, holy shit. Like, the Millarverse, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, holy shit. Like, there's a lot that you could do there. So, that's really exciting, man. If Jonathan Hickman starts getting hit up with his stuff, like, if they made East of West or, like, the Manhattan Project or some of, like, his indie stuff, oh, man. I mean, they're already doing it with a whole bunch of shows, right? There was the, what's the one on Netflix that I love? With, wow, guess it's that kind of a day. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So yeah, I absolutely think that's a thing. Fable series would be dope, Eric. That'd be awesome. Weed, beer, mental, and babes. Wait. What did you say there? Aw, man, I lost it. Okay, that's how it should be. Instead, it's antidepressants, lactose intolerant, and loneliness. Says Jay Orts. I think there's some truth in that. But it's, you know, that's your perspective, my friend. A-Par with a $10 holla says, sending some love to you and the Nerdvengers. Here's some moolah for some wings later on. Pizza. All right, so now I got burgers, I got wings. Shaping up to be a good day. Everybody have a great day. Take my dinero. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the love. Drafter says, yeah. Okay, that was almost too much. Hey Josh, do you think Black Adam will be a part of the Snyderverse? No. I love weed beer. I can't drink alcohol anymore because it makes me sick. But I miss the taste of beer. Says Don Castillo. And that's probably not at all. I gave you a hillbilly accent for no reason whatsoever. Josh, by the way, Falcon the Winter Soldier finale will be an hour and 47 minutes? Is that true? No. Let's check this out. Where's this information coming from? What the heck is happening here? Who's lying? Is it on Reddit? 4 days ago. Yeah, I don't know. That would be amazing. I do not see that confirmed for me anywhere, so. Crest with a $10 holla says, we got burgers and wings. We can't forget about the coffee. Hood rat shit. Let's go. Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. Thank you, Crest, for the coffee. Someone needs to say, somebody needed a yeah for the bingo. Josh, show us the bong that we know you have. I actually do not have one. Totally honest. Dude, live action Afro Samurai? That would be really cool. That would be sweet, dude. Get some gummies to celebrate 420 after work. Again, I just don't think that's in the cards for me, man. There's too much going on. I don't have one, yeah. I have a nice... Here's what I'll admit to. I'll admit that I have a very nice Sherlock that is over a foot in length. You can look that up. Just like how the episode of WandaVision was going to be 2-hour-long episodes. Right, man? Exactly! Why do you do that to yourselves? You did it with WandaVision! Says Christopher Burt. It's true. We did. Vodka or gin last night on Nerd Theory. Actually, it was just San Pellegrino. But a little gin would have been nice. Yeah, you realize 6 hours is an approximation. Could be 5 hours. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Grant says, just got here. Recap of Keaton. Okay, just because I'm in a very good mood, Grant. He's back in. Deadline a month ago was like, nah, fam, he ain't in it. The whole internet was like, dude, Michael Keaton's not even in it. Fuck the Hamadaverse, basically. And now it seems like Michael Keaton was like, they just gave me a lot of money. And then he like smiles with a little glint in his teeth or whatever. Bunch of stoner boners in here, says Sozu Sozin. Water with a lime, really? It's not just water, brother. You never had a nice San Pellegrino with some lime? Jeez. Have I ever seen Hunter x Hunter? Yes, I have. It's really cool. Haven't made the full... Ooh, Mike! Oh, you're creeping up on that 50K! That might be if you have 50K before the weekend, you might be you might want to hold it for Saturday. WandaVision is like a punch. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is like a kick, and Shang-Chi is like a chop to the throat. I like it. Fans wanted, they got it, and now Snyderverse is dead. Holy shit, says Felipe Santos. You know, I used to work with a guy named Felipe, and he was literally the happiest person I'd ever met in my life, man. It was ridiculous. Like, just pure joy. Pure joy. Shang-Chi and the 10 Bracelets of Power. Fair. I still think it's cooler. Stevie, you're looking great for Saturday. The whole thing with you is going to be like, what do you decide to purchase? You know what I mean? Jedi Mike says, love the nerdy news. Yeah, man, can't wait. Today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, another episode of the Nerdy News Rundown on the Den of Nerds. Make sure you go over. There's going to be a special surprise over there. Did you ever have a job before YouTube? Yeah, man, I had a lot of jobs. First ever job I had, I worked at a, well, I mean, technically I worked in my father's martial arts studio for most of my life, but I never got paid, so I guess it's technically not a job. My first job was actually at a Tim Hortons, but I only worked there for a little bit, and then I basically worked in the restaurant industry for 12 years. So I worked at a number of different restaurants. I worked at some diners. I worked at some like sports bar places, and towards the end of my restaurant tenure, I worked at very nice restaurants. I ended up at a very nice Italian restaurant. Yeah, it was really cool. No, I didn't get caught stealing coffee. I got way too drunk and missed a morning shift when they had a very hard morning rush. You know what I mean? I was like 18. I was such an idiot. Predictions for Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I'm predicting a hardcore John Walker Thunderbolt setup, a hardcore Sam Wilson setup, the Statue of Liberty to be turned into a gigantic Captain America thing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And a lot of action, hopefully. What belt did you get to? It's kind of, look, our system didn't actually have belts. It's kind of interesting, and my father was definitely not about putting a belt on me at all. But I could have, I mean, I don't know, maybe brown or purple would probably be the best way to say it, like for you guys to understand maybe. But we didn't really have a belt system. I am predicting 47-minute episode with an hour of credits. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, just the belt for bad behavior. Oh, yeah, that was a thing for sure. Where did the chat for the morning stream... Wait, what? Where did the chat for the morning stream... It should still be there, man. You might have, like, clicked to... Discord's so weird. It is still there. You might have just moved it. Nathan Tattoo says, I, as well, grew up doing martial arts. I am a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, blue sash, Southern Shaolin, and multiple years of Aikido. Also was a pro free runner before my accident. Yeah, man, that is awesome, bro. I feel like you and I would definitely have a lot of shared experience, man. And by the way, I saw the NERDVENGERS Glocks, and they looked awesome, man. They looked incredible. So, yeah, so, you know, we can talk more about this later or whatever, but the arts that I studied actually were mostly, the best way I could say it's a lot more like Muay Thai. It's an Indonesian art, but it's probably like the thing that people would most be able to relate it to would be Muay Thai. But then like within that, there was jiu-jitsu training, you know, there was wrestling training, just regular kickbox training and stuff like that too. I mean, at one time I was actually training, believe it or not, and this would probably really sound ridiculous to many of you, but coming out of high school, I did not want to go to college. I wanted to be a cage fighter. I absolutely love fighting. I love it. I wanted to be a cage fighter, and I actually blew my knee out in training, and basically God was like, nah, bro, that's not going to be a thing. So, Darth Drunk says, take my money and spend it on learning Russian. Streams are what gets me through the morning. Gotcha, brother. Appreciate you. Any type of meditation? Absolutely. Absolutely. Transcendental. I meditated this morning. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful thing. I'm all right, Jedi Mike. Oh, never mind. Sorry, you're talking to him. Hi, Josh. I am a 56-year-old female and consider myself a swarmy. Love your content and how well you keep things together with theory. Thanks to you, I am slowly bringing my husband into the nerd love. Anna, that is very sweet. You know, there was a couple. I'm not on my Instagram like that anymore. I kind of like privated it, and I just got weirded out with Insta. But I'll probably maybe I'll come back or whatever. But there was a couple that I would talk to pretty regularly on Instagram. The story was so cool, man. I remember him saying to me that like they had sort of found a shared, like basically by getting into nerdy pop culture, they had found a shared thing that it's almost like as a couple you find like a show, like your show, and you can't watch it with the homies, you gotta watch with the girl, you know what I mean, or you know, whoever you're with. That will be a thing sometimes. And for this particular couple, they had found through our content a shared thing that, I mean, he kind of said to me like sort of saved their relationship. Now that to me seems like it's hyperbole and whatever, but I don't know. Life is strange. So that's awesome. And I appreciate the kind words. I have a lot of fun on Nerd Theory. I feel like even sometimes I get a little out of control, but I think that there's a lot of good people involved with that show. So thank you. All right, everybody. LOL, never mind. That's not happening. What are you talking about, bro? I'm going to sell my Doge if it hits $1. Oh, yeah. That whole thing is interesting because you got to watch the institutional money on that. You know what I mean? You got to watch the institutional money on that. But there's always opportunity, brother. And by the way, we don't want it to go to $1. We want it to go to 69 cents. Let's go! All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you all so much for being here. If you celebrate, continue to celebrate. Be safe. Get yourself some good food. Watch some dope movies. Read some comic books and pass out. Much love. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I will see you in the next video, which will be at 6 p.m. Well, there might be one before that, but you better be there at 6 p.m. on the Den of Nerds for the Nerdy News Rundown. It's the new thing. We really want all the Nerdvengers showing up at 6 p.m. every day to get over there and comment and be into the show. We need an anchor thing. We need you to be over there and do it. So that you get in there. Just make sure you're there at 6 o'clock to hear the show.
this the guy, you gon' down with the metal. We pull up a glass and we shoot and whatever. Fuck me a bitch on a burn on a metal. When I burn my teeth, put a scrap on the chest. She take her the heat, but I take her the pill. She eat on this D till her problems get settled. Sippin' on lean like it's alcohol. Nigga, this the block, hit 'em, make 'em fall. We choppin' shit up like a saw. Know I keep them clips on my call. If a nigga down bad, no nigga got the hammer, we don't nothing nigga ass to the wall. We be hitting the leaks and all. From the bando to the mall. All snitch, we 3 deep with them choppers in the fucking backseat. Freaking bitch on go when she gone on the road. All she wanna do is don't keep.
Did everybody leave? Is everybody gone? I'm going to say it again. I feel strongly that if Warner Brothers does not lock Zack up for something, that Kevin Feige will absolutely scoop him up. And he's already trying to scoop up, I think, Cavill, maybe Affleck, and some of those other people. And again, if Keaton was being pulled away from Batman by Marvel and Sony realized, or rather Warner Brothers realized what was going on. I mean, it is possible, like, we don't know, but this whole thing seems so wild. Ultimately, we the fans will win. We'll just kick back, we'll be entertained by the drama, and then hopefully we'll be entertained by the Flash. Love y'all. See ya.
Baby, let's just see what these calls do. I'm so perfect.